See, today we are diving into something that had a massive impact on how I think and live. Okay, as you all know, the topic that is Stoicism. Now, I know some of you might have heard of it before, but trust me, there's so much more to it than the simple idea of toughing it out. Okay, so Stoicism is actually a profound philosophy that can totally change the way you approach your life or your challenges and even your own mindset. Okay, so it's not just some ancient ideas that sounds cool on your papers. Stoicism has real practical applications that can help you live a better, more peaceful and fulfilling life. So today, I want to share with you a few of core concepts that, when applied, can honestly make a world of difference. Let's start with the most fundamental concept in Stoicism, and it's also something that blew my mind when I first encountered it. That is that is the dichotomy of control. Now, when I say the dichotomy of control, I don't mean some fancy philosophical term that only academics care about. This is something that could genuinely shift how you live day to day. So, the core idea of this is simple. There are things you can control, there are things that you can't. And the key to inner peace is focusing on the things you can control. So think about it for a second. How many times have you stressed out over something that was completely out of your hands? A job interview, a fight with a friend, or maybe the weather ruining your plans. We all have been there, right? It's exhausting. And the Stoics would argue that stressing over things doesn't just waste your energy, it actively harms your mental peace. Here's what the magic happens. Stoics teach us that we should focus all our attention on the things that are in our control. What we think, how we react, how we act, and face the challenges. So, the external world, other people's action, the weather, they are all beyond our control. And fighting against them is like trying to hold back a tidal wave with a spoon, right? So, for example, let's say you're running late to a meeting and there's traffic and you're stuck. You can't control the traffic, right? But you can control your reaction. You can choose to get frustrated and upset, or you can just accept the situation, stay calm, and use that extra time to mentally prepare for the meeting. That's the power of focusing on what is within your control. And the reason this concept is so life changing is that it frees you. It helps you realize that you don't need to fight against things that don't matter. You don't need to waste energy in that is trying to control uncontrollable things, right? Once you let go of that, you are free to focus on what you can change: your mind, your actions, your decisions, etc. So every time you feel stress creeping in, uh, or from the things that you can't change, just ask yourself, is this within my control? If it's not, then it's not worth the emotional drain which you're doing. If it is, then you have the power to take the charge and act in a way that aligns you with your values and goals. That's the first lesson from Stoicism. It's a simple shift in thinking, but it's incredibly powerful. And trust me, you once you grasp this concept, you'll find that life becomes a whole lot less overwhelming than it was before. Now, let's talk about something that is at the heart of Stoicism, that is, virtue as the highest good. Stoics believe that the only thing that truly worth pursuing in life is virtue, which simply put, like living life of a wisdom, justice, courage, or temperance. You might think, wait a minute, isn't success, wealth, or happiness the ultimate goal? Well, in Stoicism, things aren't seen as good in themselves. Why? Because they are external. They can be taken away from us, they can change, and they don't last forever, right? But virtue, that is being wise, just, courageous, and temperate, is something you can cultivate and carry with you no matter what happens. It's something that comes within you. Uh, think about it. If you focus on developing these virtues, you can create a solid foundation for your life no matter what happens. Okay, whether you lose your job, face challenges, or go through tough times, you'll have that internal compass to guide you. Virtue is stable and dependable. It's like the anchor in the storm of life. Okay, when you focus on being a good person and making decisions based on wisdom and integrity, you start to experience a different kind of success, not the kind that depends on external validation, but the kind of that fills you with pride in your own character. That's the Stoic way. For example, let's say you are faced with difficult decision at work, one where doing the right thing might cost you something. The Stoic approach would be, ask yourself, what's the virtuous choice here? What aligns with wisdom, justice, and courage? And no matter the outcome, if you make the virtuous choice, that is success. In Stoicism, the real win is not in the result, but it's in the character you build along the way. And that's how you stay grounded no matter how much success or failure comes your way. So, embrace virtue as the ultimate goal because it's the one thing that will always serve you well no matter what circumstances comes your way. This was second one or second life lesson which I learned. Let's go to the third one and one of my favorite. That is, this might sound a little strange at first, but once you grasp it, it's totally transformative. It's called amor fati, which translates to love of fate. So it means embracing what happens in life, good or bad, as something that is meant to be happen. So you see, life is full of ups and downs, right? Twists and turns. We can't control everything that happens to us, but Stoics teach us that rather than resisting and resenting the challenges life throws at us, we should embrace them. Why? Because everything, even the difficult moments, has something to teach us. Amor fati is about saying, whatever comes, I love it. It's not about pretending everything is perfect or pretending to be happy all the time. It's about accepting the full spectrum of life, the joy, the pain, the losses, the wins, and recognizing that they are all part of a larger and a meaningful journey. Imagine you are going through a tough period. Maybe you're facing a setback or dealing with a loss. Instead of falling into frustration, Amor Fati invites you to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can this experience help me grow? It's the mindset of accepting everything as a part of your path and finding a way to appreciate it. This idea doesn't just make us stronger, it also makes us more peaceful because when you stop fighting against life and accept them, you stop creating unnecessary suffering. You realize that nothing is truly bad if you can find the lesson in it. So, next time life hands you something unexpected, whether it's a challenge, a loss, or a failure, remember, Amor Fati. Embrace it, love it, because in doing so, you'll transform your struggles into powerful stepping stones on your journey. Let's talk about something that's a bit heavy, okay, but incredibly powerful. That is Memento Mori. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right or not, but let me translate it for you. This means remember that you will die. This sounds a little intense, right? But stay with me because this concept is actually one of the most life changing ideas in Stoicism. The Stoics believed that by constantly keeping the awareness of our mortality in mind, we are able to live more fully. It sounds paradoxical, right? But by remembering that life is finite, we can start making every moment count. We stop wasting time on trivial things and start focusing on what truly matters. When you remember that death is inevitable, it becomes easier to put things into a perspective. That's that meeting that seems like a big deal. Maybe it's not important as you thought, right? That argument with a friend. Life's too short to hold on to that kind of negativity. And that those small stresses, they are nothing compared to the bigger picture of your time on this earth, on this planet. Memento Mori isn't about being morbid or living in fear of death. It's about motivating yourself to live with an intention, to stop procrastinating, to stop waiting for the right moment, to start doing the things that matter to you, and embrace the present as the gift that truly is. It's a reminder that time is the most precious thing we have. If you had 1 year left to live, what would you focus on? What would you change? Would you spend more time with the people you love? Or chase your passions or let go of unnecessary worry? Memento Mori encourages us to live with that urgency but without panicking, just with gratitude and focus on what's important. Now, next up, we have Stoic practice called negative visualization. See, this one might sound a bit odd, but trust me, it's a game changer when it comes to building gratitude, resilience, or mental strength. See, it's about imagining the worst case scenario, not in a pessimistic, depressing way, but as a tool to prepare your mind and appreciate what you have. Stoics would regularly practice thinking about losing things they love, whether it's their health, their job, or even the people they care about. The idea isn't to focus on fear, but to prepare yourself mentally so that you are less shocked or devastated if those things ever do happen in your life. See, at first it might feel strange. I mean, who wants to imagine losing something they care about, right? But here's the thing, when you mentally rehearse a loss, it helps you realize how precious the thing you really have. It forces you to stop taking things for granted and to truly appreciate your life as it is. For example, Project Alchemy. Think about the people who don't have it. Think about the people asking in your DMs to join Project Alchemy. You have got the chance, you have got the opportunity, you have got the mentors, you have got everything, you have got time. Make use of it and show people what you really are. I see. Let's say you've got a great relationship with a friend, okay, but you have been taking them for granted. If you do a little negative visualization and imagine losing that friendship, it might motivate you to appreciate the time you have with them and be more present in the relationship. You'll find yourself grateful for the things that you might normally overlook. It also builds a resilience. The more you prepare yourself for potential losses, the less likely you are to fall apart when the things actually happen. You'll face hardships with a calmer mindset, knowing that you are already thought through how you would handle those situations. So, negative visualization is about expecting the worst. It's about appreciating the best. Sorry. Yeah, I told correctly. It's not about expecting the worst. It's about appreciating the best. It's about reminding yourself what you have right now is a gift and that you have strength to handle whatever life throws at you. And when you do lose something or someone, you have mental tools to cope with it gracefully without being consumed by it. Imagine COVID comes again and you lose someone. Sounds very depressing, right? That's why we do negative visualization. It helps us to get out of depression even before we are into it. See, next topic is the role of emotions and rationality. I don't know how many people will understand this, but as human beings, we feel things happiness, sadness, anger, excitement, fear, and those emotions can sometimes feel like they control us. Okay, but in Stoicism, there's a big emphasis on understanding how to deal with our emotions in a healthy and rational way. The Stoics didn't believe in suppressing those emotions or like pretending they didn't exist. What they taught was emotions aren't inherently bad, but they can be misguided. So often emotions are the result of our interpretations of events. Okay, for example, if someone cuts you in traffic and you get angry, it's not the person cutting you off in traffic causing you anger, it's your judgment of the situation. You might think, how dare he did it to them? How dare he crossed me? And that's where the anger comes from. The Stoics believed that if we learned to examine and challenge our thoughts, we would change our emotional responses. They encourage us to pause and reflect before reacting emotionally. Instead of letting your anger control you, You can ask yourself, is this really worth getting upset about? Does this person cutting off actually impact my happiness in the long run? It's not, it doesn't matter to you after some time. Rationality gives you the power to respond, not react, and that's where freedom lies. We have the ability to choose how we want to feel based on the meaning we assign to our events. See, when we are able to step back, think rationally, and question our emotions, we gain control to our actions and we stop letting external events dictate our happiness. This is where Stoicism really shines. It's about taking ownership of our mind and emotional responses rather than letting them take control of us. So, next time you feel overwhelmed by an emotion, whether it's anger, frustration, or anxiety, take a deep breath, challenge your thoughts, and ask yourself, is this really in my control? Is this reaction going to serve me? By using this rational thinking, you can cultivate a more balanced, peaceful state of mind. This was all about rational thinking and the role of emotions. See, I want to talk about self discipline and practice of daily reflection. This is a part of Stoicism. This one is a game changer for personal growth because it's all about creating habits that helps you align with your actions and with your values and checking in with yourself regularly. One of the Stoic practices I find most helpful is journaling. Every day they would reflect on their actions, their thoughts, their choices. The reason for this daily practice is to keep ourselves on track and make sure we are living accordingly. It's a tool for continuous self improvement. If you are not regularly looking back on your day and assessing whether you acted with wisdom, justice, courage, you might find yourself drifting off the goal, of your virtues, of your values. This practice of reflection isn't about criticizing yourself. It's about learning and growing. At the end of the day, take a moment, ask yourself, did I make decisions that align my values today? Did I react to situations with calmness and rationality? Or did I let my emotions take over? This simple habit helps you stay grounded and focused on what truly matters. But it's not just about reflection, it's also about self discipline. The Stoics believe that if you are going to live a virtuous life, you have to practice self control, whether it's resting the urge to procrastinate, controlling your impulses, or sticking to your goals. Self discipline is the key to building a life that aligns with your highest value. Start by setting small, achievable goals for yourself each day. Maybe it's committing to 10 minutes of meditation, journaling your thoughts, or simply taking a moment of gratitude before you go to bed. Over time, these small acts of discipline will add up and lead to a major shifts in your mindset and behavior. The daily practice of reflection and self-discipline helps you to continuously grow and keeps you on the path, and by making small adjustments each day you gradually build the character and mindset of a stoic. It's not about being perfect, it's about striving to be better every fucking day. Next is living according to nature. This concept is deeply rooted in Stoic philosophy. The Stoics say, live according to nature. They are not talking about spending time outdoors or following environmental practices, although that's a part of it, but they are talking about living in harmony with the natural world, understanding our role within it, and embracing the rational order of universe. At its core, living according to nature means accepting that life has a certain flow, a rhythm, and we are part of it. Everything happens for a reason, right? Even if we don't understand it in a moment. The Stoics believe that nature is rational, and by accepting the way things unfold, we align ourselves with that rational order. See, this doesn't mean we should be passive or just sit back and let life happen. Stoicism teaches us to take active responsibility of our actions, while recognizing that some things are beyond our control. It's about understanding your own nature as a human being, our capacity for reason, for growth, for virtue, and using that to live with integrity and purpose. For example, when you face a challenge or difficult situation, instead of resisting it, think of it as a part of a natural course of life. Embrace it as an opportunity to grow and develop. Understand, just like the changing seasons, life has its ups and downs. The key is to live in harmony with those changes rather than fight against them. Living according to nature also means respecting the natural world and other people. When we live in a line with nature, we don't try to impose our will into the world. Instead, we try to act in a way that contributes to a greater good, knowing that we all are interconnected to each other. So, 8 powerful Stoic concepts that can completely change the way you approach life, whether it's focusing on what you can control, embracing virtue, accepting your fate, reflecting daily, or living in harmony with nature. Stoicism offers timeless wisdom that as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. See, the beauty of Stoicism is that it's not a philosophy you read about in books. It's something you can live every day. You have the opportunity to apply these principles, change yourself to grow, and build a life based on peace, wisdom, and virtue. It's not about being perfect or never facing struggles. It's about how you respond to those challenges and how you continuously strive to be the best version of yourself. Life can be messy, unpredictable, and sometimes unfair, But with Stoicism, we learn that how we navigate those moments in what truly defines us.